This video is dedicated to exploratory data analysis, where I'll give you step-by-step guidance of this project. Whenever you're doing any data analysis project, so we have to choose the data set. Here I choose the data is a Titanic. The reason behind that to choose the Titanic data set, because in this data set you'll find it out all kind of problem statement. In this project, in this data set, you will find it out where is the null values, what kind of graph we can use it, string column is exist, floating column is there, integer is there, and we can perform different pre-processing operation as well. So that is the reason to choose this Titanic data set. So whenever you're doing any data analysis in a company, we first find it out what kind of problem we are solving it. So always try to find it out the problem and write it down there and find it out the answer one by one. So here I'll also do the same steps. So I noted down all the problem statement. We'll do it the solution in the coming topics. So there is a completely a 22 question. If you're completing the complete 22 questions, that means you are good enough to understand the exploratory data analysis. So in this problem statement, you will know where we are using the different kind of graph like a pie chart, histogram, bar plot. Then why are you waiting for it? Let's start it now. I'm assuming that you already have the this PDF and this file as well. If it's not, you find it out the link there in a description and take it in your PC and create one proper folder and will do the project in that location. Okay, so let me open my Jupyter notebook in this current location. You can directly go to the CMD. It's on you where you want to work on this project. You want to open directly on Jupyter notebook with the default location, you can do it. It's totally on you. So I'm just opening in specific location. Yeah, let me just write it down. Jupyter notebook. Okay, yeah, Jupyter notebook. It's opening. Okay, so let me read it. Very first question, the question number one: load the data on Python. Whatever ideally you have open on it, I open the Jupyter notebook. So let me create a new file. The file name is write it solution. Yeah, the Titanic solution. Write it Titanic solution. Yeah. Okay. The very first question is the load data on Python. So loading the data, that means you're doing the transformation operation. Then you have to import pandas. Okay, pandas, and pass the reference as a PD. You can pass anything, A, B, C, D, whatever you want to pass it. Okay, so the meaning of the references pass the PD, that means you don't need to write every time pandas dot. You just write PD dot. Okay, so these are just giving the warning, and if you run it again, it will not show the warning. Yeah, okay. So now I want to load it, then PD dot read, and what kind of data is there, just dot, and whatever you after dot you just click on a tab, you'll get in the suggestion as well. Okay, so I'm just I want to read the CSV. So read CSV. What kind of file I have? My file is in a CSV format. You can see it here. My file is a CSV format. You can also go and or else yeah, you can just check the description there, right click and go to the more option and properties. Yeah, properties, you can see here the extension is a CSV, but you can find it out the extension here directly. See, titanic.csv, whatever name is there, you have to write it correctly. Okay, so pd.read underscore. So if you, because uh, if you're doing the first time, you will do the spelling mistakes, better to use the suggestions. pd.csv, like when you click on a tab, it will giving the suggestion for you. pd.csv, read csv, and write down a titanic.csv. Okay, when I just read it, these are the data is available. I can store it any variable. I'm storing in the df variable. Okay, that was the first question. Starting question is very, very simple. uh, you can try it, take the help from ChatGPT, but try to understand how this code is working. Okay, print starting 10 rows and last 10 rows. So printing starting 10 rows, let me just okay, copy this question. Yeah, all right, take the heading. Okay, question number two. So that is the question number two. Question number two is, you can also provide the heading as well, like this. Question number two is a print starting 10 rows and the last 10 rows. Starting 10 rows, you can use it df dot head, because that entire data is stored on the df. Okay, head, and pass the value is 10. Starting 10 rows is showing. Yeah, these are the starting 10 rows. And okay, df10 I can store it. Df10, that variable I can store it. Okay, and if you want to print it, you can directly print it there, df10. Okay, so that is starting 10 rows is there. And if you want to print last 10 rows, so df dot tell. Tell means last, whatever values you want to how much how much rows you want to print. So if you're not passing anything, so by default is printing the 5 rows. But if you pass any values, that will be print that values. So 10 rows I'm just passing, so it will be printing the 10. Okay, question number third, I want to find it out the shape of the data. Shape of the data, let me just copy paste this question. Question number third, what is the shape of the data? Question number third. So df is my the entire data. I want to know that how much rows is there, how much column is there. When you scroll down, it automatically showing that 891 rows and 12 column. But specifically, if I want to take the values so that I can perform any other functions, so that time obviously be required. So df dot shape, if you're just using it, it will show you how much rows is there, how much column is there. Okay, the question number fourth, if I'm going, print all column name. Okay, so here I can see the all column name. Yeah, I can see the all column name, passenger ID, survive, all the column name is showing it here. But just imagine, if you currently we have only 12 column. That is the reason Jupyter Notebook have a capabilities to show the all columns. But what happen if you have the 1,000 columns or just 100 columns? It is not possible to show all the columns, right? In that time, it will be showing the dot dot dot. All right, if the data is very big. In that situation, we have to use the method to display the column name as well. So question number four, let me copy. That is the question number four. Okay. Question number four, print all column name. So df is my entire data frame dot columns. Okay. If you're using dot columns, it will be showing all the values is here. Okay. And it's automatically in index format. If you want in list, so make it to list. Okay. If it's not, then I mean, let me stop it. With here, you can stop the kernel as well. Ah, yeah, it's working. To list is working. Yeah, to list is working. It's making the entirely is a to list format. Okay, in the list format, it is applying it here. Question number four, five, fifth. If I'm jumping on it, find the data type of all the columns, right? So, like, what is the data type of sex column? What is the data type of age column, ticket column? Like all the data type, I want to know the column name, right? So, in the time, if you want to find it out the column name, so how can you perform? So df, you can just use it dot d types. Okay, so if you're using the d type, it will tell you that what exactly the data type is there. Like passenger ID is normally the number. So df dot head, let me just show you. Yeah, passenger ID just 1 2 3 4 is there. So it's just number, that's why it's showing the integer, right? Int 64. And survived is also the integer. P class is also the integer. Name is object. If here in data frame format, if you have any string, that time it will showing as a object. If you have any number which is a floating point number, that time is showing the float. If you have integer, it will showing the integer. Okay, because this is not a normal numbering or string concept is here. The entire data is mapped in a data frame format. So when you just check the type of df, that is the data frame, it will working there. Pandas have the separate data type that is defined as the int, float, object format. Okay, so but you can easily compare with which you already learn. Key, we have integer, we have a float, we have a complex, we have a string. But here we have, you just consider as a string, you can compare with the object, integer 64, float 64. Okay, now let's jump on the sixth question. So print summary information and summary. Okay, so yeah, sixth question. Okay, all right. So sixth question, you can just find it out. Um, so df dot, you can directly use it. Description. So describe, not a description. Describe if you're just using it. So it will be describe you the entire summary about that, or else you have a df dot summary. I think not summary. I think info. Yeah, info, we have info. So both will help you to define it. Like info have a limited, the limited information is there, what kind of uh, rows is available, like the passenger id survived, there is no any missing values. But when you're talking about the age, so there is a 714 rows is available, that means have missing values. Okay, here we have the data type is available, and if any missing values is there, it will be show you, and how much data type is available present here, and how much float, how much integer, how much object, it will give you the complete summary. But if you're using the describe, it will tell you that he, here when you're talking about the very first rows, so here in the first rows it will tell you like 891, but in the age is showing that 714 only. Okay, so describe is a for only targeting to the numerical columns, because it will be give you the count as well as mean, minimum values, maximum values, what is their standard deviation, what is the first quartile, 25%, second quartile, and third quartile, right? So yes, it giving you the complete numerical information, numerical summary, whereas info will tell you that how much, what is the data type, and how many rows is present in the particular column. Let me jump on the next question. So we reached the question number 7, that is the count the survived and show on a pie chart. So only survived we can't do it, so we have to find it out, the number of survived and number of unsurvived data. So yeah, we are in question number 7. Let me just write it. Question number 7. Okay, question number 7, let me also write it. This is the 7th question. You have to first find it out how many passenger is survived and how many passenger is not survived. Df is not defined, so let me reload it again. Yeah, so now the data is reloaded. These are my data, and have to find it out number of survived and number of unsurvived passengers. So we can use that column directly, survived dot value count. Okay, so it will tell you ki 0 means uh, 1 means survived, 0 means not survived. So here the data is showing, but this data I want to show in a pie chart. So let me store in the variable, any variable where one. Okay, where one I have to store it here and use the library is Matplotlib, and here we have to make the pie chart. Import matplotlib dot py plot as plt. Okay, and py plot, py plot, yeah, plt, the plt dot pie pie chart, and whatever value you will pass it here where one, so it will create the pie chart here. Let's make it some beautification here. I don't want to show the information, I just want to need the graph. So plt dot show, if you're using it, then it will be show only the graph. And and I want to also show, so when you just use the shift tab, it will give you the all the parameters. You can also use it here, like the shadow, it's a false, so I can make it shadow is a true. Shadow is a true, so if you make a shadow is a true, so it will show you some little bit shadow. Okay, t capital, I have to use it. Okay, little bit shadow is showing it, it looks a little bit more beautiful. And I can also show the percentage values, like how much percentage of the survived column, how much passenger of not survived column, like auto PCT, I can use it, auto PCT, so that I can and show you. And auto PCT, we have to define it like in till which decimal values you want to show as a percentage values. I want to show till the decimal of 2. So with a floating point, if you just use it, so 0.2 f. And percentage, I think I have to show you. Yeah, percentage we have to define it, and it's a 61.62%. Actually, it's two time a percent symbol I want to show. So if you're using only 1%, so it will be confused. So that's why you have to use a 2% here. Then it will be looks showing it here percentage. But which one is a survived, which one is a not survived is confusing here, right? Because we have to give the information which one is a survived and which one is a not survived, right? So where one, what exactly the values here? Um, yes, it's 0 means not survived and 1 means survived. So the first values which you, and whatever order you pass it into the pie, so it will be create the graph accordingly. And I have to define the label here. Okay, so let me also define the labels. I think labels it will be there. um, okay, I think plt dot labels. Okay, I can use the tab to find it out, the labels I can define it, and there's two values. The first one is not survived and the second one is survived. Okay, when you just run it, and yeah, so labels is not defined. Okay, sometimes we confused, like it's not easy to remember all the parameters, all the methods. So you can use the documentation, official documentation. Just go to the matplotlib and pie chart, you can just write it down, it will be go there and refer it. uh, you can use either official documentation, these are the official documentation if I'm using it. So yeah, it's telling that, so you have to use inside. Okay, so it will helping you to make the graph and chart, it will helping you. Yeah, the labels I can use it here inside, not to outside plt dot labels. So whatever I just define it here, I have to define like here, labels is equal to this values, not to define outside. So your official documentation is always help you to do that. And yes, the color we can also do it. So shift tab will also help you to find it out, is there any parameter available or not. So yes, like I want to define the color. So two different color, like I want to make it red and green. So green means survived, and blue means not red is not survived. So colors is equal to, I just define it, and obviously it's a two colors, so I'll define it. First one is not survived, that is a red, and second one is survived, that is a green. So RGB is always, when you just define it just one letter, that is also work for you. So yeah, this values is showing, and I think it's fine for you, and you can use it, like yeah. And other parameters is also exist, like you can use it plt dot title, and if you're using it plt dot title, like survived and not survived passenger. Okay, so the title you can also use it. That's fine, I think. The question number 7 is fine. And now let's jump to the question number 8. What exactly it is? Let me copy paste. It's a question number 8. Okay. Find out how many female passenger had traveled in the first class and show on a pie chart. Okay. So first of all, it's talking about the female passenger. So whatever data I have, so the completely we have the 891 passenger. So I want only the female passengers. Currently, the data is the mix of male and female. I'll make the condition. So there is a method is called as a lock I lock. I can use it, right? So okay, without lock I lock, I'll just use it here. So df dot, a column name is 6 is equal to what I want male. So now it will show you the true, false, true, false. I want the entire data frame, which is the only female. Uh, yeah, let me make it female, not a male, female. Okay, so I want a true one. So we can just directly define it the df. So inside the df, whatever true value will be there, it will be printed. So yeah, so df and whatever true value was there, so it will printing. So the completely, so 314 rows is available. So whenever you're going this kind of analysis, always check that df.6.value count. Value count, yeah. So female is a 314. So yes, 314 data is available. So first of all, they talking about the female passenger, that I find it out. Female, okay, that I store it here. Female passenger, only female data frame is available. So find out how many female passenger had traveled in first class. So first class show in the pie chart. Only one thing you can't show in the pie chart. So we will show it here. First class, second class, third class, all three classes of the female passengers. Right. So DF female. So DF female, and P classes, it will tell you like how many female passengers travel in the first class, second class, third class. So dot P class dot value counts. So if you're using it, so it will tell you the first class they traveled only the 94 passengers. Okay. And that is also showing in the pie chart. So I will take the copy paste. I will not write it each and everything again. So the copy paste of the previous one, yeah, I can also directly use it. Okay, but not exactly to do the same thing, and the value will definitely change. So here I'm just removing it. Okay, and the title will be the female passenger travel in different classes. Female passenger travel in different different classes. Okay, and let me store in the some variables where two I can store it, and let me also print it so that I can define it all the values here. So where two I can define it here. So these are the data, and you can define the color. Okay, colors, you can define it. I can define it, uh, you know, RGB, red, blue, green, that can also define it. Otherwise, that color is also okay. N- Not necessary to define it in here. So I'll just make it the blank. So I think blank will give you the error. So better to not to write anything, whatever default value is coming. And and yes, one more thing. So colors, you can also define the hexadecimal hex code as well. So when you go into the color hex code, so that values you can also define it. It's not necessary that you have to pass the red, blue, and green. Like I want to define the the first one. This I want to define. So let me just define it here. This one I want to define, and the second one I want to define like blue. Okay, that hex code you can also define it. You can modify it accordingly. So this is the new one, like the new pie chart. I'm just discussing it here. So let's do it something new here, not to as it is, which I discussed in the last question. Okay, and let me make it red. So yeah, so this way we can do the analysis. You can see the two, three different color. We can also show it, and the label is very, very important. Label, lab, labels. Okay, so order wise, you have to define here. The first one is a third class, third, and um, and first, because it's not important to make the complete order because it's just the circle wise. So whatever order is there, you can just define it second. So you can see the all the values is showing, and the same time I can also define the auto PCT. Auto PCT, I can just define it the percentage 0.01 f. That means it is showing the only one decimal points. Okay, and the percentage symbol, I want that, so take a space and I'll pass the percentage symbol. That is also showing. And you can also define it the plt dot label. I think, yeah, labels, we need to show it or not. Okay, it's not required to show it here because it's already showing there. But in case in the same time, auto PCT, which is defined it here, and I want to show the exact values as well, that you can also make it. You can go to the official site and scroll down, you'll find it out. See, auto PCT, they are making it, and color slicing, they are making it, and the labels. See the different hatch, we can use it. It will help you. And like auto PCT, I define it here. So the line distance, it will going outside. So the different experiment you can apply it here. See, and which one you find. And they focused on ki it should be first class, right? So without third class and second class you can't define it, but they more focus on the first class. So exploit, you can use it, right? Exploit, you can use it. This one I can take it. Okay, exploit, I can use it. All the values is, I can directly use the enter, so there is no issues. Exploit, here you have to define the values. So automatically that is 0 comma 0 comma 0 is there. They may have forgot the comma, then they are giving the answer. They're giving the suggestions 0 comma 0, but they more focus on the first class. So I'll make it for a first class 0.1, so that it will be going out. Okay, so the first class is around 29.9. So this official site will really help you, right? You can see the size, you can define it, and the values. Yeah, you can see the lots of things, and the Jupyter notebook is also showing it there. Okay, so hope this one will help you. And let's jump on the next question. This is also pie chart. The ninth and 10th, yeah, ninth is also very similar. So I'll do the copy paste, of course. uh, Ninth question. Ninth question is very, very similar. Okay, find out how many female passenger had survived and her age is less than 30, show on pie chart. So there is a two condition is mentioned there. Find out the female passenger, it should be the female passenger had survived. That means survive not survive, both the values we have to find it out, and her age should be the less than 30. So the df female I already have, okay, which is 900 314 rows is available, but her age should be less than 30. So I'll put the one more condition. Okay, so dot age is less than 30. So and yeah, so we'll do like this, less than 30, 147. This is the one way we can do it, and we can also let's hide it, double click, you can hide it. We can also do it in this way, the df, we can pass the two different conditions the same time. Df, okay, df, yeah, df dot age, which is less than 30, and okay, and df dot sex, which is equal to female. Okay, so when you just use it, you'll also get the same values. What is the issues? Cannot perform the rendered boolean scalar. Okay, can I use the double, this one? Oh, the double is not there. And can I use it? Can I use the bracket for this? Yeah, yeah, now it's working. So both the values are same. You can do like this and this, both are the same. And I can store it, the value is df uh, female and survived. Okay, dfs, female and survived. And okay, not female, survived, it's age, fa. And we have to show the survived and not survived, so I'll just do the uh, copy paste. But they focused on the, yeah, they focused on the only survived, so I'll also focus on the survived only, the df fa dot survived dot value counts. Okay, and I can store it here, the var 3, and I can pass it the var 3 is here, so that will also be created the same, um, not survived. And but make sure that the order of this not survived will be the proper. Let me just check that, var 3. So actually it's a first survived and then not survived, so make sure that you have to also pass like this. First is survived and then not survived. Okay, first will be the green, first will be the green, and the second one is a red, like this. And yes, the heading, whatever you want to show, female with her age less than 30, female with her age less than 30. Okay, now it look like this. But again, I more focus on the survived, how many passengers survive, which is less than 30. So we have to explode it. Explode, explode. Yeah, explode is correct, I think. Yeah, explode. And that you can define it. We have to just go a little bit up and then pass the 0. Yeah. So the survive is the yeah, 2071.43. And when I just jump on the next question, the find out how many female passenger had survived and how many male passenger, sorry, how many male passenger has survived and his age is above 40, show on a pie chart. That is quite similar with the question number 9. Okay. Question number 9, yeah, question number 9 is done. Then I can define it. Question number 10. Question number 10. Yep. So whatever I did here, so that is very, very similar. So only difference is here. So they are saying ki find out male passenger. Instead of the female, it's a male passenger, and their age should be above 40, should be above 40, and it's not a female, it's a male. And let's take the variable 4, and it's a male passenger, and survived, not survived value is showing this. You can see the differences here. The female which have the age less than 30, that more survival data is there uh, compared to the male which have the age is more than 40. Let me show in the graph. Okay, so variable 4. Okay, auto PCT will be there, and the first one is not survive, second one is survive. So I can also define it the same way. Same way I can define it, survived. And then color, the first one is not survived, that is the red, and the second one is a green. And explode anything which you are doing, and anyhow they are talking about the survived, so I'll explode for a survived, not for unsurvived. Okay, 0.1 I can do it. And yeah, the male with age is more than 40. Okay, male with his age more than 40. So when I run it, it's look like this. The survived is very less. If if the passenger is male and age is more than 40, it's very less when you compare with the female with age is less than 30. Okay, so that meaning is that in entire data, they give the more priority to the younger and a child and a female. So that is the reason you can see the survived count is more if the passenger is a female and her age is less than 30 compared to the male with his age is more than 40. And now we reach till question number 11, where we have to show the age with 20 beans, and that we have to make it with the histograms. Okay, see, currently we have a data frame this. So the age we want to display it here. The age is the continuous column, and the continuous column we can use histograms only. And yes, if you have a more than 2 columns involved, then like line chart and scatter plot, we can also do it. But here we have to create the histogram. Okay, so df dot age, that is my column. And yes, some missing values is also there. Normally if you're making any kinds of visualization, we first deal with the missing values and then applying any visualization. But here missing values we'll do it later, because that already make it separate question. For this, I think question number yeah, question number 20 have find the missing values and replace with the median, and some, not only the median, other values we can also do it. But let's focus on how we can work on histogram. Okay, plt dot hist, and whatever column you have, df dot age, so you can make it as a histogram. So these are the histogram is there. So default is making like this, plt dot show, and we'll make it plt dot title, that is age distribution, and plt dot x label, that is the actual age, and plt dot y label, that is, yeah, that is the frequency. Okay, frequency, that is frequency, and it will be look like this. So this is the age distribution is there, but it's mentioned there we have to work on the 20 beans. So let's make it separate, this one. Okay, so this is our main part to work on here. And if I'm making the bins, and yes, you can use it shift tab to get the more information here. Okay, so beans I'm talking about here. So 20 beans if I'm making it. So beans in the sense, so here by default is making the bins 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, like this. And our maximum values is goes till 80. So beans if I'm making is 20. So it will be created as a 20 part. So beans will be the more smaller, right? So that we can our distribution will be more understandable, more clear. But if I want to know that like 0 to till which values, that want to define it, right? So these are 0, 10, 20, these values is calling it the ticks. So x ticks, we have to define it here. Plt dot x ticks, x ticks. Okay, and that we have to provide the range. So what will be the next values? See, we have the 80, completely 80 data was there, right? And what will be the range? It should be 5, it should be 10. What will be that? So we have the completely the maximum value is still 80. And we have to see get some more values as well. Let me take the suppose 80, 85, 85 if I'm just taking it, 85. Okay, and divide by 20. So let's make it some values so that it should be more clear. Like it should be the integer values, not the floating point will be get. So if I'm taking here the 80 will show like this 4. Okay, so let's make it 4. Then our let's start with a 0, and anyhow it will be goes till 80. So I'll make it 84, because some values will also be leave it here, otherwise this last value will show in that particular line. So I'm just making it 84 and reach till 4, but it should be in a range. It's not directly, you have to define it. So np dot a range, and if I pass it, and let me define the NumPy here, import NumPy as NP. Okay, so it will show like this. So 0 to 4, 4 to like here till go till 40. But it everything is mixed. It's not clear that keep uh, so 0 to 4, what exactly the line. So edge color we can also define it. Let me define the separate color here. Color is equal to normally yellow, and edge color, it's let make it red. So the graph will be look like this. So creating the plots, we have to define is the bin center. Like what exactly the starting values, what exactly the ending values of this. Let me just take the annotation. What is the starting values? Because it's showing it here, the 0 to 4. Like an exact value is not a 0 and 4. That we have to see that what exactly it is, that we can see in a bins. Okay, and let me just clear it. Yeah. So bins, you can see that is the exact values is showing that that is 0.42. That's why the value is here. And second one is a 4.399. So bins is showing that. Okay, so now I will take it from a 0 to, like, from starting values I'll take till here. Okay, so that's why till -1. So here values I have, and the second one I'll take, so bins, that I'll take 1 to all the values. I'll start from here till last. So what will be happen? So this values and this values I'll add it. So kind of here you can see the starting from here, and this one is starting from here. So this both the values I'll add. Okay, the both the values will add. When you just add it, so the first value will add it with the second values. The second time, this second values will add with the third values. So kind of it will be become one array, and make the average. Okay, then I'll make the average. So now the average will be the exact values. So that is nothing but a bin center. Okay, that bin centers. So these are the bin centers, define it here. Center value I'll define it. Now if I want to make the plot, okay, so plt dot plot. So x-axis will be bin center, okay, bin centers, and y-axis will be the counts. So plot will be look like this. And later, whatever you make as a beautification, you can we can do it just like we can make it, the marker is equal to O, you can define it. So it's showing the point here, and define the color and the labels if you want to do it. Color is equal to red. Okay, so red values I define it, and label, that is age distribution. Okay, and the label I can also define it here, which is the histogram. Hist I can make it, and so that labels if you want to show, so plt dot legend, that will show the what exactly it is. uh, it is nothing but a label. Okay, so age distribution, and that is the age bin, age bins. So the graph will be look like this. So here the age distribution, and always refer with the official documentation that you can do it. Okay, let me jump on the next question. Next question is show age frequency with a survived and a not survived. Means here is asking that to make two different age distribution. Okay, the first one is for survive, second one is not survive. Here is a kind of making the we can say the subplot we are doing it. So let's make it for survived. So I'll make it easily here directly. Yeah. So instead of passing the def age, I'll pass the var 5. Okay, simply var 5. So the var 5, what will be the var 5? Df, that I'll take the df dot survived. Okay, survived is equal to 1. Okay, that will be the entire data, which is nothing but 342. I'll take the age, right? So that become for survived. So var. So this histogram will become so survived age distribution, that I can say. Okay, survived age distribution. Var 5 is not defined, that is var 5. See, this is for var 5. This is for survived age distribution. If I'm going with a not survived age distribution, so again I'll make it. Okay, what I can say, this one I'll just change the values. That would be, instead of 1, I'll make it 0, and here not survived distribution. So here these two different graph is there, right? The first one is survived, second one is not survived distribution. Why I say that we have to make it as a plot, because here is difficult to check it again and again. See, here survived, if I have checked it, then down I have to make just see that key not survived, what is the value is there. So it's difficult. So in that situation we are using the subplot. So subplot, in the sense, we are making the the two boxes the same time, and left hand side I can make the survive, right hand side and make the not survive. I think the one question is there. We are in the 12. Show the bar graph male and female. No. Yeah. The question number 16. The question 13 and 14 in a subplot. Show the question number 13 and 14. These two things we are making the subplot. Let's do it. Question number 11, 12, 13, 14 will make it subplot. So we'll discuss it. Hi. Now we reach the question number 13, that is a show bar graph for a survived with male female classes. Okay, first of all, I want a data which is a survived only, the entire data. So let me just take it survived is equal to 1 because I want to display the bar graph for a gender for a survived passenger only. Okay, so this is for only a survived passenger. So I can just store it survived df sdf. I store it. Okay, and for sdf survived passenger dot sex dot value count. So I can just see it key how many female is there, how many male is there, that I want to show in a bar graph. So there is a two way to create a bar graph. First, you can do it Seaborn, and second one you can do it with the Matplotlib. Seaborn is a more easier than a Matplotlib, but the Matplotlib is given the freedom to change the structure and color, and you uh, I can say ki you'll get a more freedom in Matplotlib. Okay, so I have to just import it, import Seaborn, pass the reference SNS dot. So here in a Seaborn, we are not calling the bar, we are calling the count plot. Okay, count plot. So in a count plot here in this question, I'll just show you with Seaborn, and the next question I'll show you with a bar graph. So both way you will understand it easily. Okay. So now I want to show it key male female, and at the same time what is the the count of the first classes, second class, and third classes as well. The same time when I just check it key the survived passenger SDF dot p class dot value count. So you'll find it out. The first classes, how many passengers there's, third classes and second classes. Let me first draw it for classes. So count plot x is equal to, that will be the p class. Okay, and you can just use this shift tab to find it out what parameters is required. So here we required you know two main parameter, x values, y values. You can also define it, and the important is here you have to define the data. Okay, important is here define the data. Yeah, data. So data mean, let me first show you the df. I have to sorry, data is equal to, I have to mention sdf because survived passenger only. So it's showing the graph like this, the first class, second class, third class. Okay, so only thing is there ki we don't have much freedom to arrange the structure. It can be possible, but it's more complicated as compared to the matplotlib. That's why we are preferring if we are doing the more experimental thing. Okay, so so now this one is done, and you can also the the sex wise I want to just show it, the HUE we you can use it is equal to a sex. Okay, so you'll find it out. So for a first classes, how many male is there, how many female is there, second classes, third classes, likewise you can define it. Now we reach the question number 14, that is the how many passenger are travel in a different classes show in a bar graph. So this question here, this bar graph, I will make it with the matplotlib. So Seaborn we already understand. Let's make it with the bar graph, with the matplotlib. So df we already have, and the p class dot value count. Okay, so here the data, and when you're just going with the matplotlib plt, let me just import it. Import, make it from matplotlib dot pyplot as plt. Okay, so when you just go with the plt dot bar, so they are asking You have to define it x values, you have to define in the height, you have to define in the weight, everything you have to define it, right? Yeah, blt dot bar. So what is the x-axis is there, what is the y-axis is there, you have to define it, and the plus point is that you will get more freedom to do it. So what will be the x-axis? So x-axis in the sense, when I just making the graph here, so I want to define it the the first class, and the second one I want to define it second class I want to define it, and third class I want to define it, right? So in this way, and in case if you want to first class first and then second class then third class, you can also do it accordingly. So let me first define it, the values. Okay, so what are the values? So values, I want to just define it directly in a list manner. So this value should be stored in somewhere. Let me store in the temp variable. Okay, so temp, if I'm just making its normal list, so what will be the values? So these are the values I have. Okay, so accordingly it is taking the values, and based on that I have to define what are the first classes, what is the second classes and third classes. Okay, so yeah, values, I can just write it values, value here, temp, I can just run it. All right, value. Okay, um temp, if I'm just make it dict, so you can see these are the values are here. Instead of just defining the list, you can directly define in the dictionary. So the key is nothing but your x-axis will be, and value is nothing but your the height, exact height will be mentioned. So the dict here. So if I'm storing in directly the value, so I don't require the list here. Okay. So value dot key is nothing but, it's not a key, it's the keys, is nothing but your x-axis, that I can just make it x-axis, and instead of writing the values I can directly write in the data. It's much better. And y-axis, that can be, okay, instead of y-axis we can also see the count. Okay, count exactly the data dot values. So when you just check the count, so see these are the values. Plt dot bar, if I'm going with it, the first one is x-axis you have to define, so x I just define it here, and after that you have to define the count. Okay, when I just run it, so you can see these are the values available. Okay, so but again, if you want to define it like if you want to change the order, so you have to just go through it here and change the list, apply the list comprehension, so many things is there, you can do it. So whatever value you will pass it here, accordingly it will be show in the bar graph. So let me just show with plt dot show. Okay, so here axis I just pass it the exact value, so that's why the one two actually it's number, so that's why showing like that. These are the number 1 2 3. So instead of the writing the number, so I can also write the proper statement as well, the first class, second class, and the third class as well. Okay, so I can just define it. So that val I just make it normal list, and for I in ray I in x, if I is equal to 1, then val dot append will be will be first class. And if I is equal to 2, val dot append will be the second class. And if I is equal to 3, val dot append will be third class. Okay, so you can see the class order as well. Third class first it's there, and second class, because our order of x values, that was also the same. You can see the 3 1 2. So instead of just passing the x, I can directly pass the val. So you'll find it out exact values, the first class, second class. See, that's why I told you we have a more freedom to do it. Okay, we have a more freedom. So you can just twist it with a list, dictionary, and the set wise, and just apply it x values and y values here. And yep, I can also define the color as well. uh, Color is equal to red, green, blue. Yeah, red, blue, and green. So that we can do it, and we can just do it plt dot title. We can make it. So, but if you're just doing with a Seaborn, that is more easier to do it. But the freedom is little bit less. The only difference is there. But if you have a very small graph, if you want to just show it in some emergency basis, always prefer with the Seaborn. And if you have to be very detailed, you know, visualization, you have to do it, then Matplotlib is better. So I can say is a passenger class. Okay. Plt dot x label, that can be classes. Plt dot y label, that is nothing but count of passenger. Okay, so you'll find it YLABEL. Okay, so these are the values we get it. And if you want to make it a grid, so you make it gridded here. Plt dot grid, so make it grid. So many options are available in Matplotlib. Okay, so again, it's totally depend on the situation where we want to do it. So now it's fine. And let's jump on a next question, which is how many passenger are survived with class wise and a show in a bar graph. Let me make it. Question is very simple. How many passenger are survived with class wise and show in a bar graph? Okay. So I think we already done this kind of similar question. So let's make it the C1, and it's quite easier. So I can make it. First of all, it should be the survived, right? How many passenger are survived with the class wise? First class, how many passenger is survived? And first class, how many passenger is not survived? Second class, how many passenger survived? Second class, how many passenger not survived? So likewise, the same for third class as well. So it's very simple question is there. SNS dot count plot, count plot, and we pass the data, which is nothing but a df. And what is the first value is there? Data we pass is x is nothing but your p class. That column name is p class. When you run it, it will showing like the first class, second class, and third class. You can see here that already the x label and y label is already exist. So it much faster than the matplotlib. The only thing is there, the freedom is little bit less. Okay. And but the question was that how many passengers are survived and not survived as well. Then you can just use HUE is equal to survived column. Okay. So yeah, the first class, first class, second class, and third class. How many passengers survive, how many passengers not survive, we can make like this. So if you understand this bar graph, but again, if you're facing any issues, always go with the official site of Matplotlib and Seaborn. You'll find it out different type of graph, and already you'll find it out example as well, and you can implement in your project as well. Here we enter in the new section is a subplot. So question number 16 is we have to make it the subplot, and question number 13 and 14 we have to make it the side by side. Let's make it the subplot here. Okay, subplot is a kind of, it's very useful when we are comparing with the side by side, right? So let's make it here. First of all, we have to make it plt dot, again we are doing with plt dot subplot. It's a subplots. Okay, because we multiple plots, we are just doing it. How many rows you want, how many you know column you want. Suppose if I'm doing a 2 cross 3, right, it will be creating a 2 cross 3. So 2 rows and 3 columns will make it. So currently we required only a 2 boxes, right? So let's make it side by side, left and right. So I want only 1 rows and 2 columns. That's it. So if I'm making like this, so you can see it's showing here. And again, you can increase the size of the graph as well. It's on you. Okay. And we can define the figure size as well. So when you're just doing the shift tab, so you'll find it out multiple what are the parameters are available. So somewhere you will find it out the fixed size. Okay, fixed size. Yeah, figure is there. So you can directly define it. Yeah, you can see. So multiple example is also mentioned there. You can just take it and I can apply it here. So let me remove it. Yeah, that is fixed size. Okay, fixed size, and I want 10 as a width and 8 as a height. 10 is a height and width. Okay, height width option is there. Okay, now it's making like this. I think it's too big. Little bit big is here. Mm, let's make it 5. Okay, the height. No, let's make it 6. And first for width and height is there. Sorry, width and height. And width, let's make it 6. And height is not too much I required. 5 is enough. 5 is also too much. I think 3 is enough. Yeah, 3 is enough. And let's make it width is 8. Yeah. So the graph will be side by side. It will looks good. So this one make it, and we always store in some parameters. Let me store it. The first one is always generating the fig. Okay. You can also check it like how much, what exactly the values are returning, and returning the excess values. So AXS, I'm just writing it here. Yeah, that's it. And always just use it plt dot show. And whatever graph you'll write it, you'll have to write it inside. Question number 13 is working fine. So let's do the copy paste here. And only thing we have to define the axis. So here when you just check the axis, so that is a none, right? It's a none because it creating the only one frame. So currently we have to assign the frame, particular frame, that can be first frame or second frame. So here ax is equal to axs. There is a 2 frames. Obviously the rows is always start with 0. Okay, so the first one is a 0 and the second one is a 1. So when I just make it 0, so it will be going with the first frame. Okay, it's going with the first frame. When I just making it 1, then it's going with the second frame. What happen if you have the multiple frames is here, like 4 frames, rows and column wise? So let's increase it. Let's first create it here, and I'll also increase the multiple graphs there. Okay. So yeah, and we can also make it the title as well. So SNS dot and SNS dot set title, set title, and this is nothing but survive passenger, gender, and class wise, right? Passenger for gender and class wise. So it's done. Set title is not working. Okay. Yeah, set title is there, and obviously it's a little bit big, so I can make it survive passenger for gender and class. And we have to increase the width as well. Let's make it 10. Oh, sorry, 20 is too much. 10 is enough. Yeah, and it should be the first frame. So I make it here. And the question number 14 that I want to show in a second frame. So let me just copy paste question number 14, 14, 14 here. Okay. So why here I do it with question number 13 and 14? The reason behind that, because the one I make it with a Seaborn. Second one I make it with the Matplotlib. So that combination, how it will work, it will be quite similar that Seaborn. So only thing is that we are defining the axis inside, but here we have to define the axis in outside instead of PLT. Okay, so that I'll make it AXS of 1. So that will be as it is. Copy, paste, paste. Okay. So when I just run it, so it should be go inside that. I think when you're just making it um, uh, like with access, so you can't do with directly the title. You have to write a set underscore set title and a set X label. Okay, that is needed to do it. Okay, PLT dot show, you can't do it. It's already there. So you can see, um, yeah, passenger classes. So both the graph it's showing it side by side. Okay, the question 17 is show bar graph for survived with a third class male and first class female. Okay, let me just write it here. All right. Okay. So the bar graph for a survived DF is working or not. Yeah. Survived with a third class male. Okay. Third class male. That means I have to define the DF dot P class is equal to third class. Okay. Is a third class male. Those who belongs to the third class, and and third class male. Okay, male, I have to define it. Male, that would be df dot sex is equal to male. Okay, so these are the values, and I have to find it out survived or not survived. Then you can just do it survived dot value count, and survived. Okay, it's capital S capital. Hmm. So that I want to show in a bar graph. So it's quite simple. You can also do with the Seaborn, you can also do with Matplotlib. But here I will not do it. Matplotlib and a Seaborn, we can also do it directly with data frame. So when you just find it out these values, so just use it dot plot. Okay, the kind, what kind of graph you want, and I can define it bar. So why I'm writing here, because you'll find it out a multiple way to do it. You can see these are the values, and yeah, survived, not survived is there, 0 and 1 is there. So 0 means not survived, so I can make it color. Okay, so color, and I make it red and green. Why red and green? Because not survived means you know, not survived, I'll make it red, because it's the dangerous things, right? So it's a danger, a symbol of danger, and one miss. Green is there, like uh, passenger are survived. That's why I'm making it green here. So this way you can also define it. These are the passengers which have third class, third class male passenger, and I want to also see that first class female passenger as well. So I can also define it. Copy paste. So female class first passenger. See, so first one is a survived. So I can make it here the green, here the red. You can see here. You can see the differences, right? Ki, the passenger, those who are belongs to the first class female, and the survival rate is very high. The compared to the passenger belongs to the third class male. And I want to show these two things in a box plot. So instead of going with the box plot now, let's also finish it the question number 18 as well, and then I'll show the whole both the thing is a box plot. Okay, question number 18. Let's finish it. Question number 18 as well. So question number 18 is also very simple. How many passenger are survived and not survived? Of course, we'll find it out both. And they are first class female. I think the question are same, I believe. Uh, Not survived, and they didn't mention that key it should be belongs to the bar graph or any kind of graph. So question number 18 we don't need to show in a bar graph, but yeah, the box plot I definitely make it. Let me first finish it this question. Okay, passenger not survive and they belong to the first class female. So of course these are the values. Okay, these are the values, you will find it out. This one belongs to female and the first class, and so anyhow we are not showing any kinds of graph, so let's make it the cross tab. At least you'll find it out how many passenger, those who are first class female, how many passenger are there, those who belong to the second class male, how many passenger are there. So we have a pd dot cross tab, and pass the values is a df of a p class. Okay, P class. And when you just make it the P class, sorry, I think Pandas has no attribute of cross tab. Cross tab. Sure. Okay. Cross tab is there. So why is showing that it's not there? Okay, leave it. So df dot P class. All right. Cross tab has always required the two columns. So the comparing I'm just doing with the six column as well. Yeah. So you can see the first class and the sex is the female is a 94 only. Survival, not survival, both rate is here, right? And and a second class, how many passenger are there? Second, third class, how many passenger are there? So we can also get the more information over here. Okay. And if I'm just making margin is equal to true, okay, you can find it out other things as well. So there is a column is called as a margins. So margin is always false when I make it true. So you'll find it out how many totals values are there. And later you can also do some different color combination as well. So you can easily find it out on official website. Only thing is that let's make it box plot, subplot, subplot. Okay. So this is not a question, but I will make it subplot with the plt dot subplots with 2 cross 2 matrix. Okay, 2 cross 2 matrix. I'll just make it. So here the 4 boxes will be there, and I'll show all the different uh, combinations. Okay, and yeah, we'll do it. Let's make it question number 17 and 18, 17 only in this subplot side by side, so that we can easily compare. There was a question, right? Third class male and first class female. So I want to just compare it side by side and see the differences, how exactly it look like. Okay. So I'll do the copy paste, because subplot just we have to define it. And here I define it. And later I'll just remove it here and make the simple variable var1. Okay. And var1 dot and define all the values. So you can see all the values is there, but you have to define the position as well. So ax position is always present as a parameter. You have to just define it axs, that is the variable here. And I want to define it in the first parameter. Then I can do it yeah, 0 and 0. So yeah, this is one. And this is exactly the third class male. And let's make it the uh, title. So axs 0 0 dot set title, and third class male passenger. Okay, this is nothing but a third class male passenger. And the second values which you define, that would be the first class female passenger. So I'll do the simply copy paste. Okay, simply copy paste that I want to define in the first class, or else you can just do the directly the copy paste first class female passenger. Okay, first class female passenger. So this one should be the first class, and this one should be the female passenger. Okay, the female passenger. And I have to also see that obviously that time it was a green and a red, or else you can directly the copy paste, because I already checked that. That's why I'm just changing the values, or else you can also copy paste this position. So by default is always start with 0. So this one is 0th row, 0th column, and this one is 0th row, first column, and the second one will be accordingly. Okay, so I have to make it the values is 0th row, first column, 0th row, first column. When I just run it, you can see that is the first class female passenger. Let me remove it. Yeah, this is nothing but a first class female passenger, and third class male passenger. You can see the differences. That time, see why I'm doing the analysis here, and why I'm just creating the graph. The main purpose of graph is not to just visualize it. Okay, it just visualize it and it's done. No, we have to find it out a conclusion. So what is the conclusion here when I just do the side by side graph? So you can see those who belongs to the first class, they give the more priority, right? And those who belong to the third class, they give the more priority. Those who belong to third class, they are not give the any priority. And and you can also see that they also give the female passengers. So here exactly, if it belongs to male and you are a class uh, third class cabin, if you took it, then they give the very less priority. So third class male passenger, the priority is very less compared to the first class female passenger, right? So so that you can reach till conclusion. So that is our target. So only creating the graph is not our target. So question is, why you creating the graph? I'm creating the graph to find it out some conclusion. So that's, I'm just doing it here. So two boxes remaining. Let's go up and find it out, any graph. Uh, okay, I'm taking this graph compared to compared to the six column and passenger column. Okay, so SDF is already defined. Let me just check it. Hope it's there. So SDF, yes, SDF is nothing but a survived passenger. So instead of passing the SDF, I can directly pass the condition here, right? So yeah, survived is equal to 1. Okay. By default, it's going in the last, but I don't want in the last. I want here. So let's make it the axis. I have to define it. AX is equal to AXS 0. That is only first row and 0th column. So our graph will be here. You can see you know, the graph, and you can easily compare here. And this is nothing but just giving the uh, you know, the 6 column along with the classes. So I can just define the uh, you know, the title, 0th row, sorry, 0th row, 0th column, dot set title, um, passenger classes along with 6. Okay, and now let's make it here some other type of graph, like I'm just taking the pie chart. Any pie chart, let's take it this. Okay, and just apply it in the last boxes. Copy paste. Plt.show, we don't have to do it 2 times. Okay, instead of writing the plt, you have to define it axs 0, first row, first column. Okay, and pi, what is exactly the variable for? You have to find it out first. And title is the male with his age greater than 40. Instead of writing, even instead of taking the upper variable 4, let me just define it. It's not taking much time. Variable 4, that would be df of df dot um, 6, that is nothing but a male, and and 6 df dot age, which is greater than 40. So let's make it in a bracket, avoid the conflict. Okay. Okay, so what's the issues? Uh, they could not convert the string into. Mhm. What is the issue? The variable 4, plt.py. Okay, let me just check it. The variable 4 is working or not. Variable 4, there is no any issues. So how to debug it? Like, we always check that line by line. Which line exactly have issues? So this one we don't have any issues. Okay. Um. So that is nothing but survived dot value counts. So you can see, so actually this values I want to pass it, not to entire df. So actually I just pass the entire df, that's why it's throw the error. So no, I don't think so it will taking any issues. Actually it's not a title, it's a set title. See, the error is here. So when you're just using the subplot, you can't directly use it, the legend, title, anything. You have to write it, the values, like set title like this. You can see that that graph is also visible. So actually the best plot of this subplot is that you can compare with the multiple graph in the same time. So that is the advantage of subplots. Let's jump on the question number 19, I think. Let me check. Yeah, question number 19. That is very small question. Okay, we have to just map it. So this is my data frame, right? This is my entire data frame. I just show the head. Okay. And the sixth column, I just want to convert male and female into the mapping of 1 and 0. Why we want to convert it? What will be the benefit we will get it here? See, when you have any kinds of, suppose describe if you have, right? So df dot describe. So you can see the sixth column is not available. You can't find it out. What is the maximum values and minimum values is there? Obviously, we can't because it's a male and female. Okay. Um, but in a 50%, what exactly the values is present, right? Not only the describe, especially when you're just doing the correlation. Uh, we'll discuss in the future. tf.corr correlation when you're just doing it. So exactly it will comparing with all the numerical column. Correlation cannot convert. Okay, so actually df dot correlation when you're just applying it is getting the error because some column is a text. So if I'm selecting the few columns like survived, B class, if you have more than one column, so that you have to use a two square bracket, you can see the correlation. So correlation exactly the relation between with other columns and the same column as well. So relation between survived and survived is showing one. That means very high. Like what is the relation? What is the dependency on survived with survived? Okay, so what is the dependency between the survived with the passenger classes? So it's going down. So actually, with the numerical way, we can find the insights so that we can take decisions. And if you're going with any machine learning related things, so anyhow we want numbers. So here I'm just encoding it that the six column male and female I'm converting into 1 and 0. So if I want to do any mathematical operation on the particular column, so we are converting into the encoder. So likewise here I have a name and a sex. So how we are performing, how the performance difference between the name and sex here? The name 6, I can directly convert male into the 1, female into the 0. But how about the name? Because every time name is a difference. So that time we are applying the different operation that can be the natural language processing, that is the advanced things. Um, uh, okay, so we are not discussing here the natural language processing. We are focused on the mapping. So those who have a frequency wise data is available in a string manner, so that we can map it. Let's map it here. It's quite simple. So df dot 6, that is the column. Okay. df dot 6, that is a column, and that directly use the map. And male, I'm just converting into the 1, and female I'm converting into the 0. So why male as a 1 and female as 0? Reason, because it's going the alphabetical order. So when I just going the alphabetical order, so female come first and male come second, so that's why the female is a 0 and the male is a 1. So in case if you have any state is available or any city is available like Mumbai and Mumbai and Hyderabad and Bangalore, right? So according to the alphabets order, the Bangalore is come first, so it will be convert Bangalore as a 0, Hyderabad as a 1, Mumbai as a 2. So based on the alphabetical order, we are defining it here, um, mapping. But again, it's a manual mapping, so it's not required to discuss it. Like here male, I can make it 0, I can make it 100, I can make it anything, right? But it's completely manual. But what happen if you have frequencies around 5? So every time if you're writing one by one, it's a very typical task. So so we have a libraries in scikit-learn to convert the label encoder. uh, that time is automatically going with alphabetical order. Okay, so I can make it df dot 6 is equal to, so when I just take the df, so now it's converted into this one. So I can also make it with the alphabetic C scikit-learn as well. Let me show you. This time I'll make it embarked. Okay, label encoder from sklearn dot preprocessing import label encoder. Hmm. Okay, let's make a object label encoder is equal to label encoder. Okay, and le dot transform. So what do you want to transform? I want to transform the um, embarked column. Okay, and that embarked column should be, you can, let me just convert. It's not only the transform, it's a fit transform. You can see it's converted, and let me store it. Okay, before storing, if I'm storing, then I can't show you the better df dot embarked dot value count, or else I can do it unique. You can see southern location, central location, quadrant location, and nan is also there. Then you can just ignore the nan. I think it is not ignoring the nan. Okay, it's not ignoring the nan. But if you're going to the alphabetical order here, you can see. So the C will be the 0. Okay, Q will be the 1, and S will be the 2. I think none is ignoring. Yeah, I think it's ignored. So C will be the 0, Q will be the 1, and S will be the 2. You can see the head. So first one is S, C. So I think it will be 2 and 0. So you can also compare it 2 and 0, right? So you can convert into in label encoder with the help of scikit-learn. So df, you can see. So my six column and embarked column is converted into the mapped format. Let's do the question number 20, that find it out null values. Let me copy paste. Find it out null values. You can just do it df dot is null. Yeah. So when you just do it and dot sum, so it will be applied on only the numerical column, I think. No, it's applied for all the columns. Uh, but yeah, so each column you can see it's applied for all the columns. Each column you can see 177 rows are present as a null values. But actually the embarked have also the null values. I don't know why it's not showing. Let's take it startingly. Let me read it again. So maybe I perform so better. I'll read it again. So yeah, the two rows have, I think after applying the mapping, it's not showing as a null value. So always null values we perform before than applying the any kinds of mapping or any pre-processing. Okay, 177. So the question was there key to find it out null values. I find it out null values, and they are showing key replace null values to median. So df dot age dot is null dot sum. So it's focused on only the age. So that's 177. They're saying that you have to convert into the median. Actually, it's not completely correct. See, when I just checking the df, so there is some null values. Df dot age dot is null. Okay, and df. These are the null values. Rows is present 177. You can see the passenger is not survived, and they belong to the third class. Okay, they belong to the third class, and they are male. So how you think what will be the age? So that can be not completely predictable values, but we can just do in the analysis. That time you will be very near to the age. So see, after doing the analysis of this entire data, we understand that the time is given the more priority to children and female. So, and children and the less age of the people. So those who are survived, there is high chances that they belongs to the less age. Okay, and when I check the median values, so df dot age dot describe df.age.describe. So what exactly the median value? So 50% is nothing but the median values, that is the 28, and average values is a 29. And see, the minimum was the, the 4 month of child was also there, and 80-year-old, the old people is also there, right? But the average, you can see the 29 and median is just 28. So that means most of the people belongs to as a youngster, and those who are survive, there is high possibilities that they belongs to less age. So again, it's a very detailed analysis is there, but how to convert this, the null values into the median. So already I find it out the median values is 28. So the df dot age dot fill na, it's not a fill na, it's a fill na, that I pass the values is 28 directly. So all the null values will be converted into the 28. But this is not a completely correct. You have to do the more analysis and put the values accordingly. Or else you can do some machine learning to predict it what will be the value, what will be the age. Right? And df dot age, I'm just converted there. So currently I'm just passing only the 28, because when you're just doing any kinds of analysis, make sure that your entire rows should be properly, clean. If you have any null values, if you have any unnecessary outlier, it will be impact of the accuracy of the machine learning model. Okay, let's jump on the last question, which is we have to remove the unwanted column, and in in the direction of machine learning. Suppose if you're going for a machine learning, and in that time, it's very important to take the selected column, which is really depending on the target. So when I just check df dot head, you can see the survived is a main column. So you have to just check that key in a survived, in other column is really matter, it's really dependent or not. What happen if the passenger id is 10 and 15 or anything, it doesn't matter, right? So sir, this passenger id is unwanted column. Name doesn't matter, based on the name they are not given the preferences, right? The name doesn't matter, and ticket doesn't matter. Pair can be matter. Cabin doesn't matter because I already have the p classes. Embarked, you can, it is a matter, you can apply the mapping to convert into the number. So you have to select the important column as well. So what is the unwanted column, uh, or else the important column, whatever, you can just select anything. So the call, so whatever column is required, so I can directly select it. Survived column I required, Okay. And P class is P class I required. Name I didn't required. Six column I required. Age I really required. Sibling spouse I really required. PARC I required. Fair I required. Embarked I required. That's it. Okay. So this one we can select. So DF calls. So these are the important column which will impact our taking the decisions. So already I applied the mapping on the six column. So yes, I can directly apply the mapping here. Yes. So I can just write it finally. Okay. So instead of writing the DF, I have to write the final DF, final DF. Okay. Final DF. Yeah, that's it. So this is the important column, and yes, we did it, the entire questions, and hope you understand the analysis, how exactly this working. But if you have any question, you can ask me freely. Definitely, I'll help you.